The high level are analysis, create and evaluate are the high level Bloom's taxonomy. So the questions can be from create level. So you need to create some new program. So once you know the previous programs, whatever we discussed so far, like login pages, okay, and retrieving the student details. So Ajax and session cookies in the last class, those are the extra things in your PHP that will not come in your examination. So if you write with the help of that, that will make a level of evaluate level then. Okay, so the high level programs you can think in your evaluate level programs. Okay, so your create level maximum you will get it. So you everyone should be in the direction that whatever the questions have been given, you should need to attempt, or depending on your previous knowledge, by whatever you remember and whatever you have been understand from my class, you have to recall and you need to represent in your examination. Okay, so I will provide you with the long answers and short answers for both the units, for unit 3 and unit 4. And today I will also post the assignment 3, sorry, assignment 2. So that assignment also you need to complete, you need to write in your assignment books. Okay, whenever college reopen, directly you need to submit that assignment to us. Okay, so apart from that, we'll have an examination next week. We'll conduct an examination on unit 3 and unit 4, or minor is only concentrating on unit 3, then we'll go for only the unit 3. Okay, so these details I will again inform you that how the examination will be. So today my topic is on XML. So this is the end part of fourth unit called as XML. So I will also provide you with the material of XML material. So according to the agenda of our class, now we have seen that, okay, introduction to XML, I was thinking to take a separate class, but today I am going to cover introduction to XML and XML basics, syntax, declaration, elements, attributes, and valid XML documents. What are the rules for valid XML document? So this will be most of theoretical concepts. So you may not expect an program on this. XML programs may not be expected, but an example sample XML, they will ask you to create a sample XML file. So after learning of XML, a student can able to create its their own XML file. Okay, and we'll learn today what is the importance of XML file is. So now let me show you the material that this is the material that today we are going to discuss. So this material will be provided you on your WhatsApp group. So XML stands for extensible markup language. Actually, uh, there is a much more difference between HTML and XML. Why we use HTML? HTML is used for presentation purpose. Okay, whereas XML is used to describe the structure of data, or describe the structure, how the data is there. Okay, what kind of data is presented. Okay, so it more concentrate on data rather on the presentation. Okay, so we need to remember this basic principle between XML and HTML. Actually XML will not do anything. Okay, but why still people are crazy about XML? So I will let you know with an examples. Okay, and the advantages of XML. In that concept we can able to learn these things. Okay, so now, so XML, the purpose of XML is just to store the data, transport the data, in the sense to send the data from one software to another software. The medium is XML. Now let us give an example why we use XML is, suppose if you are using MySQL database. Okay, so MySQL database, and there is another database called as an Oracle. So the representation of data in MySQL is different when compared with Oracle. Now you want to transfer the data from MySQL server to the Oracle server. Okay, now there should be a generalized form of data. So now that particular generalized form you want to make, then there are many different ways that you can do this. So you can export the data to SQL, or you can also export the data as a XML file. So now this XML file will become an common platform where the any software can able to understand XML language actually. So how they can able to understand XML language means there will be XML parser in most of the softwares. So that particular software will read the XML file. So actually the XML file will have a set of rules and regulations. So these rules and regulations will be prepared by a separate concept called as an DTD, document type declaration we call it as. So I will let you know what is DTD is, but in your syllabus you don't have that particular principle of DTD, which makes a restriction on the representation of data is called as an DTD. So now this is a theoretical part, you can read from this, okay, but probably I'm going to teach you that what is the importance of XML is. Okay, so this what is XML, why do you study XML? Because it's for distribution, for transporting of data from one software to another. So the general platform, the data can be represented in an XML format. So do's and don'ts, you can read this. The difference between XML and HTML. Just now I told you XML was designed to carry data, to carry the data with focus on the data. Okay, whereas HTML is for displaying the data. So XML don't have any predefined tags like HTML. So how, sir, how I can create an XML file? In the sense, you can able to create XML with your own tags. Then these things we need to learn, that how I can create my own XML file is. So that is the reason the data and the presentation are separated. Okay, so this you have to read. Okay, so we represent an XML as an XML tree. So what is a tree structure? In a tree structure, definitely you will be having a root element. So here in your XML document also will have a root element, that is called as a parent element. So behind that, whatever the elements are there, that will become a child element. So let us take this example of a XML tree structure, that in XML document, definitely there should be one root element. And for that root, you can have a different branches, or we call it as a different children's. For a child, it can also have a subchild, and so on. That hierarchy can able to continue. So the hierarchy of tree structure is like this, which have a root element. Now let us take a bookstore. So in a real-time example, what is a bookstore is? What is a bookstore? Bookstore consists of different books. Okay, so the element of this bookstore will be a book. Okay, now every element can have certain attributes. Okay, so book have different categories. So I place this as a category. Now again, a book can have other elements. What are other elements are? A book has some other attributes or some other elements called as book title, okay, and the author, and the year of publishing, and the price for that. Okay, so everything will become a text for this. So this is the name of an this. So let us write a XML file. So for writing of XML file, you can write it in Notepad again. So what is my root element is? Book store. Bookstore is a root element, and book is an child element for this. Okay, so for the child there is an attribute. What is that attribute called as an category? What is the category? So this category of book can be any category. Okay, so let us think that this is for programming. So book belong to one programming category. Okay, then I did not close, you check carefully. So this root element I have been opened, but I did not close this. So when your XML will be a perfect XML file, when every tag, so tag I created should have a closing tag also. Okay, so I will tell you that a book can have a title now. A book can have a title. So every title can have a language. Okay, I can write it. This is my own way of representing. This title is written by me. There is no predefined tag. You can write your own tags. language equal to, I can give a property called as an English. Okay. So the title of the book, suppose web programming or web technology, web technologies. Now this will become the end tag now. So now if you don't write the end tag for this, if you don't write the end tag for this, then this will not be an perfect XML file then. Okay. So what is the next element we do have? If you see what the next element is, author, year and price. So I will write author. Author, if there is no property, then you can close here itself. Then you can write a text. So this will become a text, the value of this. Okay. This is the element describing the data, that is called as a structure, describing the data structure, and this is actually the data. Okay. So now author, who is the author? Uttam K. Roy. Okay. Now there is another attribute called as an year. Okay, see here, here, and here the text is different. I am writing my own text now. So probably this is just to define you the structure, that how does it look like. So author, then year. So year of publication, I can give it like in 2010 or 2013, whatever the year of publishing is there. Then I can write a year of publishing for that. So now here, if you observe, now here you can observe that this will become a subchild for the child called as a book. Okay. So what is the next thing is price. So price of this. So in terms of, you can write is, I can currency. So what currency you want to represent, in dollar or in INR. Okay. So this will become an attribute now. This price with currency becomes an attribute. Okay. Then what is the price, like 350 rupees. So this will be the end of a tag called as price. So I need to close a tag. Which tag I need to close? The tag name called as book. Now see here, the root element is bookstore. I didn't close yet. So this is not a perfect XML then. Definitely I need to close this bookstore. Okay. And what is the subchild for this? What are the subchilds? Subchilds are year, price and all the subchilds. What are the child? The book is a child. So now this is a perfect XML file, okay, which has a single root element. Okay, if you have two or more roots, like you are writing again bookstore, if you write another a bookstore, then this will be not an XML file then, because every XML file should have only one root element. Okay, so this will be a perfect XML file then. Okay, so how to save this file? We need to save this file as like bookstore.xml. Now when you open that file, it doesn't mean that it will represent as a presentation on your screen. Okay, because this is not a HTML tags. Okay, these are user defined tags. All these tags are user defined by following certain principle. Suppose you want to write another book. Okay, you want to write another type of book. For example, you want to write Balaguru Swami. Okay, the book title with Balaguru Swami programming. Okay, C programming. Okay, then you can write the details over here. Okay, so on you can able to go on adding the children's for this. Anyhow, the root tags remains only one single tag. Okay, so here you can change these details. I will provide you with this file. Then you can do these particular things. Okay, right. So now this is the structure of a XML tree structure. So this is the example. Just now I told you bookstore with category and language and so on. Okay. So, and you can goes on adding number of books. So XML documents are formed as a element tree. Okay, XML tree start at a root element and branches from the root to the child elements, like whatever I given you the example. Okay, next, the term parent, children, and siblings are used to describe the relationship between the elements. So can I know what are the siblings here? What are the siblings? So these are the siblings. The title, author are siblings to each other. Okay, because they are at same level, then those are called as an siblings. Okay, so now you can control this particular XML document with the help of some DTD rules, which is not there in syllabus. So, sir, how can I? What can I do with this file now? Okay, what is the importance of this file? I will tell you what is the importance is, how we have to do, and what is the structure of this. What is the importance? We will see this. So you can read this theory that what are the siblings are there who are called brothers and sisters, and what are the text elements, text content for this is this web technology, the text content is Uttam K Roy is one text content, and so on. Okay, so now the content of structure of XML documents are accessed by a software module. You listen this carefully. Okay, which are called as an XML processor or XML parser. So this can be a direct straightforward question in your examination, that draw the architecture of XML parser then. Okay, then you need to know that what happen if I create a XML document. Just now I created a XML document. Okay, so the XML document is given to XML parser. The XML parser will get a separate file called as DTD rules. DTD rules are nothing but document type declaration. So how this document is written is being specified with the help of one another file called as an DTD file. Okay, so with the help of a DTD file, the XML parcel will run. Okay, and it will create a optimized XML. What is this optimized XML now? This optimized XML can able to understand by any of the software in the whole universe. Okay, so generally you want to send the data to another software, then there should be a, just now I told you that it should have a generalized platform. Okay, that generalized platform can be created with the help of this optimized XML file. Now this optimized XML file will be given to some another uh, another parser, XML parser, that need to be understand, and it will convert the data from XML to the corresponding software. Okay, so usage of XML, so it is portable, easy, it can transform data from one format to another format. It provide a sharing between a different applications. You see here different between applications it can be used. So sir, I want to use this with I want to use this particular XML file for presentation also. You want to present this data on your web browser. It is also possible. There is one language called as an XSLT, which stands for Extensible Style Sheet Language Transformation. This is also not there in your syllabus, but at the end of this material I provided you with one program, that with the help of that program you can able to represent the data on your web browser with the help of one language called as an XSLT. So all these are apart from your syllabus, so don't look into much into this. But those who are interested to learn more about XML, then you can able to learn all these things called as in DTD rules, XSLT, and more the things, because in your previous syllabus these things were there, but in your syllabus you do have only a limited version of XML, which only tells you that the usage and importance of XML. Okay, so here it is a very important question called as, and what are the applications of XML? Okay, what are the different applications of XML? This is whole about theory. This first one is web publishing, so allowing web publishers to use this XSL to create interactive pages and allow the customer to customize those pages. So in e-commerce applications, we use most of this XML and XSLT processes, and XSL as a language. So XSLT processors will be there that will process the e-commerce applications. Okay, so in web searching and automating of web tasks, you can use XML. Then in general applications, okay, you can use this. Then in e-business applications, you can use this. Metadata applications, you can use this. Then pervasive computing, it is a type of wireless or mobile computing. In that also people use this, and most probably XML is also used for designing purpose, designing of your screens. So if anyone know Android application development, then they will be aware of that your front end or front screens of your Android will be designed with the help of XML language only. Okay, so this is also used in designing purpose in some applications. So, and transaction data, so we use this for transaction, means how the data transactions have been done in different applications can be done with this. So these are all the applications, okay, or the usages of your XML. Okay, so all these things we use it for the usages. Okay, and the role of an XML now. Okay, so the XML document separate the content from its presentation, which I already told you. The formatting task is imposed on an XSLT language. And suppose you want to send an sample XML document, you want to send a mail. Now mail is a root tag now. Okay, and to is the address to whom you want to send, and CC the carbon copy, the subject, the body, and if any other things are also there, you can include. So this is just a sample of XML file that if you want to send it, if you want to send an a mail, then how the mail is also getting transformed into an XML document again. So now this mail will be sent to Yahoo Mail, then Yahoo will read the XML file and it transform the data accordingly, and it will show you as a mail in the Yahoo Mail server. Okay, so the above statement need to save the file in. So this is how you can able to save an XML file, and all the XML file should have this tag first. What is this tag? This is a very first tag, it should be there, which I didn't wrote earlier. So this is XML version, which specifies you that what type of version your XML is being used. So definitely the XML version should be there. That should be very first line. Then only it will become an perfect XML file. So XML document consists of two things. One is called as a prologue and another one is a body. So whatever I wrote here is the body of XML. Then what is a prologue? Prologue consists of XML declaration, some optional processing instruction, some comments, some DTD rules. When this includes before the body, then all those are called as a prologue. So XML declaration, document should start with XML declaration, consists of different attributes like version, encoding, and standalone. So here the very first tag is called XML declaration. Okay, this very first tag is called an XML declaration, which consists of different attributes like version, encoding, and standalone tags. Okay, so these are the things that, so these are optional. Encoding and standalone, these are the optional things. So only one tag is important, called an XML, with the help of a version. Okay, then in the prologue you are having processing instruction. Then if you are including an XSL file, so just now I told you that you want to represent the XML file in the browser, then it should consist of an XSLT file. So XSLT is nothing but, XSL stands for style sheet language. Okay, XML style sheet language. So that XSL if you want to include, then those are called as processing instructions. Okay, this is very similar, like you are including a style sheet in your HTML file. So this is very similar to that. So comments, you can also write a comment in this manner. So this is like again HTML version. If you want to write a comment, then it should be followed by like this. This is a comment, so which will not be processed by your XML file. Okay, then DTD. So these are the rules for DTD. The DTD document to have a meaning must have a logical structure created using a set of related tags. So how those tags have been formed is being demonstrated by this. The DTD may contain the following: name of the root element, reference to the external DTD, element declaration, entity declaration. This you just remember about as a part of theoretical aspect, because DTD is not there in your syllabus. So just for instance, you can able to recall that XML consists of two things. One is prologue, and next one is the body of XML. So in the prologue, you are having four things called as XML declaration, what I told you, which start with XML and version number and encoding and standalone attributes. Then optional processing instruction, like if you want to include a XSLT file in your XML, then this is an optional processing instruction. then comments, then document type declaration. All these are optional. Okay, all these are optional. Only XML declaration is important. Okay. Then the body of XML. So what is the body? The body of XML should consist of one root element. See this very carefully. There should be only one root element in XML. Okay, you need to remember this very carefully. There should be only one root element in XML document, like greeting, hello world. So this is also XML file because it has only one root element, no children's. Okay, so it's a valid XML file then. Okay, now is this a valid XML? Is this a valid XML? No. Why? Because it consists of two elements, means two tags without a root tag. Okay, so then it is not a valid XML file. It is invalid XML file. Why? Because it consists of two root elements. So you can also include different root elements. Suppose you want to make your contacts from your phone, you want to make your contacts to be exported as XML file, then you can have these things. A person have a name and a number. Suppose if you are having different numbers, for example mobile number, okay, then you are having your landline number, then you can include like this. So you can write like landline. Okay, so 087025457. So now this will become an attribute. So now you should have a doubt that, sir, this element has a landline, but this doesn't have a landline. It doesn't impact on this. Okay, but the best way is you should also have a landline, but this will become an optional here. This will become an optional for this entity now. Okay, right. So now likewise you can able to create XML document for anything. You can able to create XML document for any such type of thing. So this already I discussed you what are the elements in XML. Elements should consist of a attribute. So this is a syntax, a general syntax of a tag in XML, that it consists of an element type, then attribute name and attribute value, then this is the content of that, and this is the closing element. Okay, so this whole thing is called as an element which have a start tag and an end tag. So these are the naming rules for that, how the name should be given for elements. Names can only contain letter, digits and some special characters. Name cannot start with a number or punctuation mark. Means suppose if you are writing one book, is this a perfect starting tag? No, this will not be a perfect element. What do you mean element? Element is nothing but the start tag and the end tag should have, and this whole thing will call as an element. So this will not a perfect element now because it is starting with a number. Okay, right. So it must not contain the string XML. So in between you should not have any XML like this thing. So if I write XML here, so this is also not a perfect tag now. Okay, and it should not have a spacing. So if you give space here, then this will not be a perfect element. Okay, so what is attributes? Attribute describe the elements or provide more information about element is called as an attribute. So in this case you can see that a price is an element, in the attribute is currency, which demonstrate more about this price. Okay, so price is been representing in dollar or in INR is been represented. Okay, so the general syntax of this is element name attribute followed by an attribute value. So this XSLT is not there in your syllabus. I'm not going to demonstrate this. So those who are interested, I'll send you this file. You read it about this, what is XSLT and template of XSLT rule. And there is one program, and you can execute this program. You have to create two separate files called as an, one is books.xsl, which consists of XSL data, and this is a books.xsl file which consists of some programming like structure which represent the data for you. Okay, and this should be the XML file. Okay, so open this file in Internet Explorer to show the output, to check the output. Check the output. So once you open this XML file, then it will take the rules of XSLT and it will try to represent the data in a tabular format. Why? Because we are representing it as a tabular format. Okay, so this XSLT can also consist of HTML tags for representation, but it consists of a specialized some of the programming, because XSL is a XML style sheet language. Okay, it is a separate language which you need to learn. Uh, so these are the rules. There is some predefined tags are there in this in XSL. So once you use this, so it will select the bookstore from the book, and it will try to iterate this, and uh, it will take all the titles, author, year, and price, which are the XML elements, and it will display the values of those in the browser, okay, for representation. So this is the end of my XML introduction. I hope everyone got what is the importance of XML is and why we use XML. So there are many different applications of XML. So just now I told you what are all those XML applications are there. Yeah, there's transaction data, uh, pervasive computing, and metadata application, e-business application. All these things you can remember, and you can write in your examination. So probably the examination, they will not ask you about program. Don't worry about this program. This is just for your understanding that how XSLT will be represented. But if a program is asked, they generally ask you about to write an XML sample program. Okay, so you can write any of your own choice of XML file, then they will award you the marks. If they are asking specifically for a bookstore, then you have to write this particular example. I think everyone did understood that what is an XML is. Any doubt? Post your attendance, everyone. Post your attendance, and those who are having doubt, they can also post the doubt. And all of you, please leave the meeting. Those who are completed, they can leave the meeting, everyone. And please click on end meeting. And those who are having doubt, you can ping me on WhatsApp. More 9 people are there, you can exit the meeting. 8, 7. Sai, Kirtana, and Akshita. You need to leave the meeting, everyone.